Good morning and happy Sunday. My mom used to say joy is an inside job, and I think she really had that right. When we can center into that awareness of the presence of God that is in and through and as us, and as we remember that we can't be separate from that, then we can find joy and peace and love in the midst of all these things that are happening in the world. So as we start our service this morning, please join me as we center here in this place inside where we find that presence of God.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our community of love and light as we joyously express God's greater vision in our lives. My name is Shannon Hoff-Smith, and it's my pleasure to be assisting Reverend Joanne on platform today, and we're glad that you're here to join us. We'd also like to extend a special welcome to all the live stream viewers, which have greatly expanded over the past 8 months. But know that whether you're in the street next over, across the globe, we feel your presence, we're holding you in prayer, and we thank you for being with us today. So at Unity Spiritual Center, we are about transforming lives. And we're more than just a Sunday morning experience. We have many opportunities throughout the week to expand your awareness of God and to bring us all closer together, so important in these times. Consider on Sunday evenings, every Sunday evening at 7:30, we gather in the community Zoom room for our intention circles. And each month we hold a new intention. This month's intention, appropriately, is United in Love. We experience a peaceful election process and treat each other as beloved sisters and brothers. Join us tonight and every Sunday as we gather intentionally, and the Zoom room link that can be found on the website. So although our building is not open, we still gather in community in a variety of ways. Every Monday through Friday, you have another opportunity at 8 a.m., and that's our daily prayer call. And it's a great way to begin the day. Set your intention, connect with your fellow congregants. We're a very beloved community, and we still need each other, even though we're not doing it so much in person right now. So please join us. Remember your truth. Set your intention for the day. And if you are interested, the call-in information is on the website as well. So please be sure to be checking that website pretty thoroughly. We're coming out with a lot of new creative ideas. Check the special events section. Participate in the ongoing classes and activities that we still are enjoying. So thank you very much. And let's get back to Bonnie and Jerry for our celebration song.
Well, this is the last week of our fall program, and I hope you have enjoyed this song as much as I have. What Would Love Do Now? And it truly is a place where you can find the love and joy that starts inside of you when you can ask that question in all your interactions. So please join me one last time. What would love do now? 1, 2. Aren't we so blessed to have a great organist? Are you ready? Here we go. Just before you say something you can't take away, take a breath, then let it out. Try to think about what would love do now. if you should cross that line for good. Whatever you decide, ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? 'Cause everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we try for love. In the end, that's all we know is real. Whether right or wrong doesn't matter, just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? 'Cause everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we die for love. In the end, that's all we know is real. Whether right or wrong doesn't matter, just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? As you let your heart decide, ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? As you let your heart decide, ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? Jerry Sergel on the organ.
Hello, friends. Today, we are dedicating our daily word to a dear departed friend in our community who's made her transition from this earthly plane, yet remains ever so close in our hearts. Her name is Jan White, and she read the daily word for us on Sundays longer than any of us could ever remember. When you think of Jan, you are reminded of her lovely, sweet, gentle spirit. She always shared a kind word, a hug, and a kiss or two. She is a woman of deep, unwavering faith, tenacity, and spiritual strength. Godspeed, beloved Jan. Thank you for blessing our lives and our community with your love and your devotion. Thank you for being a light in this world. Shine on. Our community will be receiving an email with more information regarding Jan, and maybe perhaps you'd be interested in memorializing her with a leaf for our giving tree. Information coming your way. So let's take a breath, and I'm going to channel Jan today because this word is her. Kindness. I flow with divine love as I give and receive kindness. The word kindness triggers feelings of warmth, connection, and love in my heart. I smile as I recall ways that friends, family members, and others have shown me kindness. I feel again the gratitude and blessing I experienced in those moments. Gratitude, love, and a beautiful awareness of connection fill my heart and mind in a remarkably similar way when I remember kindnesses that I've shared. The movement of electrons through a wire creates a current, a flow. As kindness moves from person to person, it creates a flow of divine love. Both giving and receiving are essential to this current of love. So I look for opportunities to share acts of kindness. I welcome with a grateful heart the kindness others share with me. With grateful hearts, we thank you, Jan. From Micah 6:8, what does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God? Again, kindness. I flow with divine love as I give and receive kindness.
As we center into our time of meditation and prayer, take a deep breath. Heart wide open, eyes in wonder. I am willing to discover. Please join me. You are a part of me I do not yet know. You are a part of me I do not yet know. Mother, Father, sister, brother, we are one, there is no other. You are part of me I do not yet know. Take it even deeper. You are part of me I do not yet know. You are a part of me I do not yet know. Heart wide open, eyes in wonder. I am willing to discover. You are a part of me I do not yet know. Even deeper. You are a part of me I do not yet know. You are a part of me I do not yet know. Look around with eyes of wonder. Look around with eyes of wonder. See no stranger in another. You are a part of me I do not yet know. Heart wide open, eyes in wonder. I am willing to discover that part of me I do not yet know.
Let's begin our meditation by breathing deeply together. I invite you to close your eyes and sit comfortably in your chair, breathing in and out, in and out. Let out a sigh of relief, deep relief, as you drop the cares and concerns that are taking up space inside your head. Continue breathing deeply, rhythmically in and out, in and out. Be so at peace that you're in a state of pure being, pure love, pure joy. Charles Fillmore said, "I am now in the presence of pure being, and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I acknowledge thy presence and thy power, O blessed Spirit. Just rest there in that space where all else falls away, all the anger, all the grief, all the rage, and come back once again to a place of wonder, a place of love, a place of pure joy. Breathe. Now, in this place, listen to the words of our author, Valerie Kaur. You are beloved just as you are. You are worthy of this earth and its seas and skies and the gifts it has to offer, just as you are. And the earth will receive all the gifts you give it, as long as the gifts that you give are given in joy. Let joy in every day, my love. Let joy be your lifeblood. Now take these words further into the silence. Let joy in every day. Let joy be your lifeblood. And now begin to come back to this place and time as we prepare for our time of community prayer.
And just staying there, just flowing with Lori and that beautiful meditation, in that feeling of being immersed in pure being and pure love and pure joy. Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. From Psalm 16:11, you show me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy. In your right hand are pleasures forevermore. As we quiet our minds for prayer, let us envision every thought bathed in divine love, the harmonizing power. Perhaps you gently place your hand on your heart space and breathe. Breathe in the awareness of our oneness with God. There is an infinite source of joy always available to us, Joy is the gift of love. May we let joy in and experience it through the indwelling Spirit. The revealing word tells us that joy is the happiness of God expressed throughout humankind. Let's move right into our community prayer for November. We bless the world with thoughts of unity and harmony. From an inner wellspring of gratitude, we radiate the light of harmonizing, unifying love in every different direction, encompassing every person and nation, and in every form of life. We are the thoughts, words, and actions of divine love in this moment of prayer and always. Always join me along with Unity Worldwide Ministry, and together let's wrap our world in prayer today. Knowing God is greater than whatever we face, greater than illness, loss, injustice, and confusion. God is an ever-flowing stream of love and wisdom, pouring through each of us to anoint our earth with healing, harmony, and wholeness. We know that God is a love that has no end and a power that knows no bounds. God's healing power of divine life is restoring, healing, and revitalizing our world in this very moment. It is healing and restoring those that we other, our opponents, and ourselves. God, love, and life are present in those whom our hearts open to hold in prayer, especially this morning surrounding Bob and Ken with our love. We know with God, peace and comfort are assured for them. And now let us speak aloud or silently those for whom we pray with and for. Our minister, our board of trustees, our prayer ministry, Connie Graham, the Turtnick family, Dawn, Wyona, David and Roberta, Jim White, our morning prayer call friends, our fall program groups, our entire community, Valerie Cower and her family, all those on our prayer lists and in our hearts. Dear ones, with prayer, we can let go of fears or anxieties and affirm that we and they are all safe, healthy, and protected. We express divine life in all we think, say, and do. Let's bless our beloved community and our global family. See them in their truth as radiant health, peace of mind, and abundant love. We say, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for the gift of grace, for holy providence. So it is we have, through this intention of prayer, created and attuned to the vibration of divine love, ushering in a golden age of joy, peace, and prosperity for all the earth and all upon it. So it is. Ik Onkar, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. God is one. Victory, all victory is of the wondrous Guru God. Amen. Amen. Blessed be, friends. Be in the Zoom room for prayer after service today, and let's continue to send that love of our community to our beloveds, Bob and Ken and their family. Thank you.
Hello, Westlake. It's me again, Daniel Nahmod, still here in my home in Orange County, California. I have left the house, mostly to go to Home Depot every single day. I can't tell you how cool it has been to share so many songs with you this year. Thank you for the repeated invitations, and I really hope you've enjoyed as much as I have. I have a personal challenge going on that I'm not going to repeat a single song this year with you, and so far I'm on track. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 songs about living, maybe more accurately about coming back to life. It has been a complicated, fearful, weird year, and the temptation is strong, at least over here it is, to shut down and ride it out and wait until tomorrow to live. But what if I can decide today to face the fear, face the uncertainty, face the anxiety, face the pandemic, face the politics, face the economy? I can decide inside here to live anyway, to take the chance, to take the leap, to feel, to laugh, to experiment and experience. What if I can decide to live as big as I want to live, no matter what's going on around me? That's what these 3 songs today are about. Here's the first one. Well, I used to dream out loud. Just being human made me proud. Now I throw my hands up in the air from disillusion and despair. My heart has taken such abuse. I've used my hurt as my excuse. It's like my hope has disappeared behind the shadow of my fear. And I wonder why they say that aging thins the skin. Then I remember I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything, no. I can right one wrong, I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in, yeah. It's time to live again. I am unjaded. What if you have to fall to grow? I've fallen hard enough to know. So what if life's not fair? Does it mean that I'm too cool to care? And I wonder when I stopped believing right will win. Then I remember I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything, no. I can right one wrong, I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in, yeah. It's time to live again, unjaded. What kind of life would I live with my heart closed? What kind of man would I be? What kind of world will I be creating if I can love with all of me? If I just love with all of me. I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything on my own. I can right one wrong, I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything, no. I can right one wrong or sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in, yeah. It's time to dive back in. Oh, it's time to live again. I am unjaded.
Thank you, Daniel Nahmod. I have so loved having Daniel with us, and that song is so perfect for our closing of our fall program on revolutionary love, because what he reminds us of in that song is we're not alone, and we don't have to do everything. We just have to join together one by one, and together we can allow that transformation to occur. And that is why Valerie reminds us that revolutionary love is a community endeavor. And so I am so grateful to this community that said yes to looking more deeply at these ideas of how we can become unjaded, letting go of the defenses that we might have been holding around us, letting go of the idea of the other, and coming together in revolutionary love ways. So I have been so excited about this particular fall program, and have heard from many of you how much this book has been so meaningful, especially at this particular time where there is so much divisiveness and othering going on, so that we can make the conscious choice, the conscious decision with one another to come together in revolutionary love. So I can't even believe we're on our last week already. There has been so much presented here about revolutionary love and the idea that we cannot love in just one area, that revolutionary love requires us to love wholly, love completely. And so we've been talking about these 3 legs of our revolutionary love stool. We finished last week with revolutionary love of self. But we cannot just focus on loving ourselves, because as Valerie reminds us, if that's where we stay, that is nothing greater than escapism. Escapism where we spiritually bypass, where we go to, I just want to feel good, where we go to just focusing on ourselves and our self-transformation. And while unity teaches all of us the importance of that self-transformation and self-realization, if we only stay there, it truly is escapism. And so we must move beyond our own self-love and self-transformation to be looking out at our greater world, our greater communities, and be asking, how can I love these as well? And so the second leg of the stool that we talked about in the early beginning was that revolutionary self of others, the revolutionary love of others, in which we recognize that there are no strangers, in which we recognize that when we look out into the world, we are seeing our mother and our father and our sister and our brother and our aunt and our uncle and our niece and our nephew and our children. That each and every one that we look out to is a part of us that we simply do not know yet. And so we take on the practice, loving others, that idea of loving others by seeing no stranger. But we can't only just love others either. We can't just focus all of our energy and all of our attention on loving those others, because that will be ineffective. We will likely run out of energy if all of our energy is about focusing on others. And that's why we also need love of self. It will also become ineffective if we don't also turn our eye to that third leg, which is the love of our opponents, revolutionary love of our opponents. This requires us to process through the feelings of anger and rage in very safe ways that we might be feeling, so that we can come to our opponent with the intention of deeply listening to them. Deeply listening, not from the place of how am I going to argue with what they've just said so that I can convince them that I'm right and they're wrong. No, not deep listening in that way, but deep listening for understanding. Where are you coming from? Help me to understand. And so that's the practice of revolutionary love of opponent, is that deep listening place. But there too, we cannot only love our opponents, because Valerie reminds us that if all we do is love our opponents, that is no different than self-loathing. And so all of these legs must work together. And it is such a dance. Have you recognized that over the past 7 weeks, the dance of revolutionary love? Like sometimes I just need to step back and focus on myself and finding that love and that center and that calm, breathing through, pushing deeper into the feeling so that I can move to the place of transition within self. Sometimes that takes all my energy. You may be there today, friends, and that's okay. If all you can do is that revolutionary love of self in this moment, that's what you do, because you recognize there are other community members who are able then to do the work that you're not able to do today. Valerie tells us that the price of love is grief. When I think about Bob and Ken, I spoke with Bob on Thursday when I found out that Jan had passed away, and I said, Bob, I know without a shadow of a doubt that Jan is good. Jan is free. Jan is out of that physical body that limited her at this time. But I also know that you and Ken and those of us who loved Jan so deeply within this community, the price of that love is the deep grief that we experience within the loss. And so Valerie, within this book, acknowledges that the price of revolutionary love is deep grief. She reminds us that anger is what we do to protect what we love. That anger is not something to push down and to push away, but to allow ourselves to process through it so we can come to the other side of anger and say, okay, now what do I do with this now from that place of inner wisdom? And Valerie tells us, as Susan already mentioned, that the gift of love is joy. And so joy is our topic today. And so I've been thinking a lot about that joy. We often hear about happiness, but how do joy and happiness differ from one another? I'm really clear and aware of how happiness can come and go. Happiness comes, for example, when something that we want comes into our lives. We all remember the happiness of falling in love that first time, or the second or third or fifth. We all remember that happiness that we experienced when our child or our grandchild or our niece or nephew was born. We all recognize the happiness when we got that new job that we were sure was the one we really wanted. We all experience that happiness when we get our new car or our new house or our new whatever. We all experience that happiness when we graduate, that happiness when we retire. We know what happiness is. It comes and goes, because while we may be happy when we step into that job, along comes that supervisor, or along comes that coworker, or along comes that challenge that we are not sure we can meet, and suddenly that happiness that we felt around that particular job begins to dissipate again. We're all happy having bought that car or that house until it starts to break down, and then all of a sudden we realize that happiness isn't there anymore. The same with our relationships. We're happy when we step into those things, but my goodness, when we begin to experience friction and conflict, that happiness goes away. Do you recognize how happiness is a temporary emotion that arises within the brain chemicals as we experience something that we embrace? Teddy Roosevelt, I heard a quote from Teddy Roosevelt this week that says, "Comparison is our thief of joy." I'll say that again. Comparison is the thief of joy. When I begin to compare what my experience is today with what I want my experience to be, oftentimes my happiness that I feel within is gone. How many of us feel that as we walk through these days that I tell you back in March, I never imagined or anticipated that 8 months later we would still be in this, and in this place today where cases are rising once more, and we all so want to go back to what was. I want my Thanksgiving to be the Thanksgiving that I've always experienced, getting together with my family and my friends and my community. But comparison is the thief of joy. I want to be able to get back out into my community and hug and have fellowship and enjoy one another. But listen, friends, comparison is the thief of joy. when you and I can accept this moment as it is, recognizing whatever the opponent is within this moment, when we can accept it, when we can experience whatever feelings arise from it, but not attach ourselves to those feelings, allow ourselves to pass through it without falling into the depths of despair, we can accept this moment and the gift that is here in this moment. And so what is the difference? What is the difference between happiness and joy? Is joy something that I can experience always? And I believe that joy can be experienced always when we come from this place of love. Love within ourselves and love shared and offered with others. Joy to me is this overall sense of well-being. The fact of the matter is, no matter what is happening outside of me, I can center in that divine Christ presence that unity teaches us is always there, always available, always supplying whatever we need in any moment, so that we can experience the very grace of God here, that sense of joy, of overall well-being. And so we have within us the power to meet each moment, to do the work that is ours to do, to meet our opponents, to meet our others, to work through the anger, to process through that, to deeply listen, to breathe together, to push deeper, and so that something new can be born within us. That overall sense of well-being is that power of God that is within us, that is always there. We can always experience it in any moment. Within the Sikh tradition, that idea is known as Kardikala. Valerie speaks about that within this book. And this is a mental state of eternal optimism and joy. Eternal optimism and joy. And where do we get to experience the eternal? But right here, right now. We don't need anything to be different. Right here, right now. We just need to accept this moment as it is and ask ourselves, how can I, in this moment, meet it with eternal optimism and joy? And the only way that I know how to do that is to turn back again and again to that divine power and presence that is within me. And that is within you. That place where we will anchor ourselves in faith, seeing through that spiritual lens. That place where we will know that deep revolutionary love, that when we open our heart, when we ask ourselves, what does love look like here? And we act on that awareness, on that deep inner wisdom that we all have within us, when we act on that place, that harmonizing power that is love moves out into every circumstance, into every relationship. And we will experience a sense of eternal optimism and joy in that moment. In this now eternal moment where we are strengthened and uplifted to walk through whatever this is, without needing it to be different. Remember, that need to be different is what robs us of our joy. So here we are. This is what we have. What we can know together is we will get through it together as we allow that strength of the divine to lift us up and walk us through it. Here we will find eternal optimism and joy, where we can center and be still and find that loving wisdom that is within us, that is always guiding us, not from a place of fear, but a place of responsibility for one another. Wisdom guides our way in every moment, where we can know right here and now that we are not victims, that we are not weak, that we do not need to despair, because that very power of God is within us, that power that we have within us to align our mind with divine mind, speaking words of truth, taking action in love. We have the power to do this. And as we remember that, as we remind one another in community, you can do this, we find that place of eternal optimism and joy. When we remember that we have the power of our imagination to see it right, that we can move from the place of worry, we can move from the place of fear, we can realign our mind with that place of possibility and say, God, enter into my mind and give me a greater vision of our oneness. Remember when all of this began and we talked about how it reflected our oneness with one another. We can still experience this moment within our spiritual community. This moment within each of our individual lives is the perfect moment to wake up and see God here. And we can embrace that idea with enthusiasm, ordering then our thoughts and our words and our actions to reflect that revolutionary love that we are here to be and to express. We have the power to release and let go of each idea that does not serve us. We have the power to let go of othering, to let go of fear, to let go of separation and ask, how can we become more inclusive? Not only to one another, but to whatever the experience is here in this moment, releasing ideas that are out of alignment with the truth and letting the very life that is God move through. That life that is God that animates us. This is our truth. Unity teaches these powers are within each and every one of us, no exception. This is where we in unity will find our kardikala, our eternal optimism and hope and joy. Realizing that this power and presence is always moving in, through, and as me as I open more and more to understanding these ideas of revolutionary love. This is what I want you to know today. That together we can move through anything. Together we can unite. Together we can find our way to the other side. Together we can know that this too will pass. Together we can ask, how can I support you? Together we can ask, how can I connect with you in new ways, in revolutionary ways? How can we come together, widening our circle at this time where we're told we can't physically be together because God is not limited by what we are experiencing here. We can connect with one another even if it's not physical connection. We need to embrace this idea of kardikala. Here we can experience eternal optimism and joy. And as always, I know that this takes practice. And so we have an additional practice for us for this week, our final week of our fall program. All right. Here it is, I believe. Okay, so here is our practice, and thank you for each one who over the past 7 weeks has sent in their intention cards. While our web is not as big as it would be if we were here physically in person, we do have a web of intentions, and I am grateful to each one who sent in their intentions, even as I am knowing the abundance of you who are nonetheless practicing, even if you did not send those in. Here's this week's practice. Continue taking the time to breathe each day. This is last week's practice. That's not this week's practice. Oh dear, I might not be able to find this week's. No, maybe here. I got it. There it is. Make noticing and protecting your joy a daily practice. Sometimes I feel like there is so much to pay attention to in this world, so much where I want to shine my light in the darkness that I forget that probably the best thing that I can do is first of all come from this place of joy. I don't have to feel guilty for feeling joy. It is in that eternal joy and optimism that I will do my best work as that light of God. So take time to protect your joy each day. Notice, how does joy feel in your body? Ask yourself what people, places, and actions bring you joy and remind you of what is good and beautiful and worth fighting for. Start with a gratitude practice for the small things in your life, especially when things are hard. And then I'm inviting you to ask yourself, because revolution
There's the kind of life when every choice you make's the safe one, predictable, when every moment's like the last one, everything even slightly barely scary is locked away. It's the kind of life where your engine's never gunning, sitting tight, and know your heart is hardly running. Nobody better be messing with the schedule for your usual day. Then there's the kind of life where your pot of gold may never come, where your dream's so big it's never done, where your work feels less like work than fun. Tell you what I want, that one, that one. I want that one, that one. Yeah, give me the kind of life where wrong is sometimes right and black is sometimes white as well. I want that one, that one. Oh yeah, that one, that one. I will fail and I'll succeed, I'll laugh and I will bleed. Every day's a mystery and time will always tell. Look at me, going a million different directions. Messy me, I call it perfect imperfection. Don't bother asking me where I'm headed, cause I really don't know. No, crazy me today. I may become a rock star. Then again, it would be so cool to drive a NASCAR. Tomorrow I might decide to wrestle crocodiles for Nat Geo. You don't need to say that my pot of gold may never come. I know, blah, 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 my work is never done. But if a life can be never-ending fun, tell you what I want. That one, that one, I want that one, that one. Yeah, give me the kind of life where wrong is sometimes right and black is sometimes white as well. I want that one, that one. Oh yeah, that one, that one. I will fail and I'll succeed. I'll laugh and I will bleed. Every day's a mystery and time will always tell. Keep your to-do list to yourself. I'm doing what comes naturally. I don't want to live like no one else. Gotta be true to me. Always be true to me. Yeah, that one, that one. I want that one, that one. Oh, give me the kind of life where I'm kind of flying blind and black is sometimes white as well. I want that one, that one. Not some boring, ordinary, flat one. I will fail and I'll succeed. I'll laugh and I will bleed. Every day's a mystery. Yeah, that's the life for me. Oh, that's the life for me. That one. Used to be happy, used to be sad, used to feel good about doing good and bad when I've been bad. Used to keep dreaming when things went wrong. Used to feel better when I'd hear my favorite song. Whatever happened to laughing out loud? The front row of a roller coaster, breaking up and making out. Whatever happened to yes I can, to trying to become a better man? And I wonder where I've been, yeah, I wonder where I went. Can I get back home before the lights go out? I'm so tired of being tired, so tired of being afraid, so tired of chasing something that just keeps on running away. And I'm ready to remember how it feels to feel the fire. Oh, I swear I'm getting out of here alive. I am getting out of here alive. Check my pulse. Is my heart still beating? I can hardly feel it in my chest. Check my pulse. The feeling is believing that the sun is never permanently set. I'm so tired of being tired, so tired of being afraid, so tired of chasing something that just keeps on running away. And I'm ready to remember how it feels to feel the fire. Oh, I swear I'm getting out of here alive. I am getting out of here alive. Call me a dreamer with My head in the clouds, gonna make my escape. Yeah, I'm gonna get out, wanna see the world, wanna leave my mark, take it all the way and through to my heart. Gonna find the path that has never been taken, find the road where the pavement's breaking, try a left where everybody turns right, whatever it takes to make it out alive. I'm ready to remember how it feels to feel the fire. I'm so tired of being tired, so tired of being afraid, so tired of chasing something that just keeps on running away. And I'm ready to remember how it feels to feel the fire. Oh, I swear I'm getting out of here. I'm tired of being tired, so tired of being afraid, so tired of chasing something that just keeps on running away. I'm not ready to surrender, I ain't giving up the fight. So before I run right out of time, I am getting out of here alive. Whoa, getting out of here alive, yeah.
I love what Eric Butterworth said. If you want to find more joy and happiness in your life, turn up the flame. And that's such good news, because that's mine to do and that's yours to do. So it is possible to find joy and happiness no matter what's going on in the world. And that is how we can be the peace that we want to see. So as we close our service today, please join me. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. On earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was. I love what Eric Butterworth said. If you want to find more joy and happiness in your life, turn up the flame. And that's such good news, because that's mine to do and that's yours to do. So it is possible to find joy and happiness no matter what's going on in the world. And that is how we can be the peace that we want to see. So as we close our service today, please join me. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. On earth, and let it begin light of God. You are the love of God.